So last time we read about multisensory human being and who are beyond five senses and they are soul scientists. So there are steps which author has given to watch our intention, the effect and the consequences, and the desired consequences can achieve by our right intention. Now, in this chapter, author is talking about attraction. So when we go to a party and we meet or make friends or mingle with or like us, dress like us, we have the same likings. That's the way we mingle. So it is called as collective mm, identification. And the author lists people, characters and roles and identification. That is mother, student, male, female, Christian, Muslims, Europeans, grandparents, Buddhist, business person, divorced. And he asks us to rate from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest identity, whether you are identified as a mother most or as a student most, based on that. He says that the collectives can overlap also, like within the Muslims, we have collectives of Asians, Americans, businessman, mother, all this. The collectives can overlap. Then he says once an individual identifies himself, the definition by which an identifies itself with the collectives and rejects another, there is a gap. And that gap is fear. So he says the glue which brings together all the collectives is not the language or color or religion or belief. It is the emotion of fear. Fear binds together all these collectives. So that is why he says collectives cannot unify humanity, but it can only divide it further. The more frightened an individual is, the more he or she will identify with his collectives, and the more violently he or she will defend it. He gives example of Nazis and fundamentalist movements, etc. So the universal law of attraction brings like energies together. So he says like individuals identified with frightened emotions, they come together. Similarly, those who are loving and open also come together. Universal law of attraction, like energies bring together. So he says culture is a treasure but by identifying ourselves with that culture is a prison. Then another example, he says that skin color, it is a blessing. But if you identify with your skin color, then you are in a prison. It's a prison. So whenever we value the way we perceive ourselves, the others should also perceive, and we reject others' opinion, then there is a difference, a fear energy. But when we consider the others' values and perception as ours, then it is love. And he says, if you want a peace in the world, you should become that peace. Then only world can be peaceful. We cannot change others. We have to change ourselves. If you want to become a certain characteristic or certain type of a people, then you have to become that type of a person. And he says that change is very difficult, but it is the heart of spiritual development. Then he says, like, when you start changing the characteristic which you want to change, for example, anger. So, if you're an angry person, you will have collectives of angry persons, people around you. And when you start changing that element, you become patient. And those old friends go away and you make a new set of people. So he says, you want to know your values and your belief system, you should check the people around you. They are the reflection of how you perceive. Hmm? So you need only see the people around you clearly in order to see what values and beliefs you hold. And he says, you cannot change yourself by wishing, thinking, wanting, or desiring. You must change. That's the chapter on attraction. Anyone wants to add or share your experience? Please free to.
Namaste, Rashmi ji. So the meditation was so very beautiful. Thanks a lot. Wonderful group energies. And very contemplative thought on the article that is shared, particularly how the collectives bind together with the emotion of fear. I have never seen it that way. So very interesting. And very true. If we just dig down and see around, we notice that the humanity binds themselves basically from an emotion of insecurity and fear. So we cannot get the humanity together with this way of living. Very clear, very clear. So the only hope, the only way is to get rid of fear, and we can't change the humanity. We have to change our own self. Every person that changes is indeed directly changing the humanity in itself. So very profound. So by changing ourselves, we are changing the whole humanity. In a way, we are leading that path. So very beautiful. Thank you. It also brings greater responsibility with this thought that we have to constantly keep working on our own self. Thank you.
Yes, Ramji, you've rightly summarized. Yeah, we have to work on ourselves when the world becomes totally different. Yeah.
Anyone else, friends, would like to add, share? Good. So, Rashmi ji, then if you allow, we shall end the session.
Yes, please. Yes, Ramji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining and sharing.
Namaste.